Hello. Happy Monday, everybody. I am here going live to you working on some resin stuff today. How exciting, huh? If you happen to be joining, let me know if you can hear me. I had some sound problems last night, and I definitely don't want to encounter that again. So, if you happen to jump on, just let me know if you can hear me or not. I pulled this up so I can kind of see what's going on. How's everybody doing today? Did we have a great Monday? I have a super fun project for you. I like to work with resin at least once a week. Um, Normally, when I'm doing a craft of some type and I'm showing you, I like to have an example. But because resin is number one, very expensive, and number two, it's really hard to kind of duplicate some of the products and some of the things I do. Um, Today, I'm just building it as we go. So if you happen to be jumping on, just make sure that you say hi, tell me where you're at, tell me what you're doing. I'd love to hear from you. Um, I like to work with a lot of natural elements, things that I pick up. Luckily, I've traveled a lot. I've been a lot of places. My husband's worked a lot of places. So we kind of collect things here and there from beaches or whatever. And this is actually something I found out in our yard, all dried up, just a piece of wood. To me, it looked like driftwood. And I sat there and I looked at it and I couldn't decide really what I wanted to do with it. So I took it in and thought about it for the longest time, and I finally came up with an idea. So this will be interesting. I can't promise it'll work, but I hope it will. My idea is to put resin in here. I'm going to build this little sailboat with a piece of driftwood that my son and I picked up in Maryland, I believe. I'm going to build that here. I'm going to put some lights in the bottom so it's like a night light, decorate it up. It'll be so fun. It'll be so cute. I think you'll really like it, assuming it turns out. You never know, right? So we will get started. I'm going to start by actually building the boat because I want the boat ready to go so I can set it in there. I am working with a hot glue gun, and I have a low temperature hot glue gun. Sorry, working. I'm always working. Those that don't know, I do real estate and I got some deals that are in the works. So I'm going to take the hot glue gun and I'm going to put my stick in this boat. So this boat is super cute. I don't know if you can see that or not. I picked this up, I want to say at Michael's or something, in the little, like, I don't know, where they have like all the doll stuff. Super fun. So I'm just going to kind of stick that in there. And I love hot glue because it dries so fast. I don't want to put too much in there, but that's the first part of my little sailboat. Like I said, I'm kind of coming up with this as we go. I have a vision. It doesn't mean it'll work out. So if it doesn't, we'll scrap it and do something else. But I picked up this cute little boat and thought that would be so cute in my little project that I'm seeing. I love how stringy this stuff is. It's a low temperature glue gun because I'm going to be working a lot with my fingers and it can burn, right? So got that part in there. It's drying up nice. And then I'm going to put the sails on. And all I have is some really thick cardstock that I picked up, cut out. And I'm going to just hot glue that stuff on there too. Again, got to move kind of quick. Just going to stick it to it. Let it sit for just a second. Some really thick cardstock. Add another bead maybe on each side. Casey Snow. Oops. Sorry, guys. Maybe I should shut that off. Okay. There we go. All right. Now we are going to put the other side on. I'm just going to do the same thing. Put a bead of glue down the side and then stick it. Give it a second. Maybe just a little bit more down the sides. Give it a second to catch up and dry. There we go. Isn't that cute? Nice little sailboat for my little resin river that I've got going on. All right, so we're just going to set that aside. It's ready to go when the time comes. I'm going to shut my phone off so we're not interrupted. Next, I am going to go ahead and kind of build up, because see, right here is where the resin's going to go. It's not going to take a lot. It's just going to be a little bit. So I'm going to kind of build up where the resin's going to go. I'm going to use hot glue for that. I want to make sure that there's no holes all the way through it, because that resin will slit, you know, it'll go all the way through. It'll pour all the way out. It'll be a total waste. So on the bottom where I think some of it might, I'm just going to stick some hot glue in there just to be safe. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to kind of build up along the sides a little bit, because resin will go everywhere. Not a lot, but just enough to get us a little line going. And if there's any spots in there that I think will be a hole, I'm going to fill those with this hot glue. Doesn't take long for hot glue to sit and dry up. There we go. I'm just going to let that sit for just a minute. But while I'm doing that, I want to put some lights in. So I picked up this, they're like wine bottle lights. You can buy them on Amazon or wherever. And I kind of wasn't quite sure how I was going to incorporate it, but I want the lights to sit underneath the water. So I'm going to take hot glue and kind of just stick them in the bottom, just like that. And because it's hot, I'm going to use a tool to kind of help me push it down. Okay. So like right here, I don't want that to pop up out of the resin. So I'm going to push it down into that hot glue so it stays. And dried a little too quick for me. I'm going to put a little dollop there. Push it down. Okay. Couple more. Push them down. Hot glue has so many little strings, but it's not, using that low heat gun really helps, so I can touch it if I need to. And kind of just do the same thing with this next line. There we go. Just going to kind of stick that right there. There we go. All I'm doing is gluing this wire down to the bottom so that it doesn't pop up when I put the resin in. I don't want the wires hanging out. So, sticking it down there. And I might have come up a little bit too high on this, which is fine. We'll just kind of cover it up a little later. There we go. See, that wasn't hard at all, was it? Just a couple seconds. It doesn't take long, but you want it in place. I'm going to shut these off so we don't waste the battery. And it is just a battery operated thing. I think we might need another little glue thing right there because it is wanting to pop up. Okay, so now we got the lights in. I'm going to stick that over there. And now we can mix up the resin. Honestly, This is going to be a really quick project. I thought it would take a long time, but nope, it's going to be quick. So I don't know if you watched me before. Usually I try to kind of mix the resin up first, but I wasn't 100% sure how long it was going to take me to do this. So I am putting gloves on because you want gloves when you're working with resin. You might want to open a window or something too. And I don't need much. This isn't going to take much resin. It's not going to be like some of the other projects I've done. I have this big cup. I'm just going to fill it with 1 ounce of part A, right here, part A, and another ounce of part B. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this, it's called Black Sea Pigment. And then I've got this super cool glitter from Glitter Makes It. I'm going to kind of mix it all in there. So just bear with me. Oh, that's B. Let's go A first. Like I said, I don't need much, so I'm only going to 1 line, and I'm almost out in this bottle, so hopefully it'll make it. There we go. This might take a minute. Almost there. Time to buy more resin. It's probably enough, but I want to be able to measure it properly. So that's why I'm kind of holding out for the full 2 ounces, full ounce. Okay, it's going. There we go. I'm not showing. Give me 1 second. I'm going to check that. Sorry guys, for some reason I was having internet issues. So if you missed it, I built this cute little boat and put some lights in. Now I'm kind of working on mixing up the resin. 1, we're going to B, part B. This is a little bit quicker, comes out faster. There we go. Just to the 2 line. Actually, this goes here. All right, then I'm going to grab a popsicle stick because I do everything with popsicle sticks. I'm going to open my pigment. Such a pretty blue pigment. I'm going to try with gloves. It's not very easy. I'm just going to take that off. There we go. Open my pigment. And I want it fairly dense, so I'm going to put a few scoopfuls in there. Maybe a little bit more. Because that light is going to shine through. There we go. Put that up. I'm going to add just a little bit of this glitter. I love this glitter. It's by a company called Glitter Makes It. I ordered a whole bunch of it, and I have all kinds of different colors. You don't need too much, just a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to mix it up. When you're mixing up your pigments and your colors, you want to give it, you know, you want to stir it quite a bit. You want to make sure it's good and mixed up, because if you don't mix it properly, it will not set. You will not like it. It'll be tacky. We don't want it tacky. Okay. There we go. Mixing, 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 mixing. And now I'm just going to kind of, once I get it where I want it, I think I need just a little bit more mixing. I'm going to pour it in that area. We're going to be very careful because we don't want this to flow over on the sides. I mean, it wouldn't look bad. It just kind of looked like maybe it's a waterfall coming up the side or something. So I won't panic if it happens, but the idea is not to have that happen. So make sure it's good. Kind of looks like pretty, huh? I love resin. So we're just going to pour it gently and slowly right over that wire. Once I get it there, I'm going to give it a second and see how it's sitting. Looks like I can do a little more. I don't want it to go over the sides, and it's all going to pool towards the front, so that's okay if it does. All right, a little bit more up here. Hopefully it doesn't make it overflow. So now it looks like a little lake inside there, or a little piece of water or whatever. I'm going to put just a little bit around here, kind of like water splashing. I'm going to actually prop this up just a little bit so it maybe settles a little bit more this way. Like I said, it can be a learning process. And I never know how things are going to turn out when I'm doing this stuff live. So bear with me. I'm just going to keep adding a little bit at a time until we're confident we're happy with it. Resin is like a self-leveling material. And it'll take about 24 hours for it to dry. So I think we're almost ready to add the boat. I'm just going to kind of put it right there where it's just sitting in there like that. There we go. Perfect. Now we can add a little bit of decor. But first, we need to kind of make sure there's no bubbles popping in there. And with the boat, that could be a problem. So I'm picking it back up, taking my heat gun, popping any bubbles. There we go. Now we're going to set that baby back in there. Just like that. How cute is that? It's so cute so far. I'm so excited. I do want to kind of just prop it up a little bit. Let me see if I can find something so it doesn't flow over. We'll kind of go like that. Okay. Now we can take and add some of these seashells around it. Kind of put just a couple in some random places. Really no right way or wrong way to do it. Just make them look natural. Just a couple on the outside. Maybe a couple little tiny shimmery rocks. And there's actually no resin there. So kind of pick it up, prop it in. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of resin on this outside out here. go. Add a rock or two. Shell. This is actually more like sea glass. There we go. Maybe on the back side, you could put some more, especially where that wire is showing. Kind of look like it's a moored boat. Anyone knows what that means? That is basically where a boat is just kind of sitting out in the water, doing its own thing. There we go. How cute is that? That's so stinking cute. I also have like a little crab because I really didn't want this to be over here. Kind of, but I don't like that there, so I probably just put it like right there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some resin, just like a dollop of it, to hold it in place. Put it down. It's like this cute little crab right there, sitting off to the side. It's actually a big crab, to be honest with you. But once it all dries and hardens in 24 hours, this will be a light. Let me see if I can kind of show you. Look how cool that is. Can you see that? How neat is that, huh? Just need to let it dry and let all that color kind of work its way. I do see some bubbles, so I'm going to have to knock those babies out. The foamy bubbles are not too terribly bad when you're doing water because it looks super natural, but you still need to be careful there. And it almost looks like I've got a light trying to pop through. That's all there is. That's all there is to it. Now I'm just going to let it sit for a little while. Sit up, maybe do a few little touch-ups here and there. I do want a little bit of like water pouring down random places. I think I want a little bit up here. I don't know if it'll let me without overflowing, but we're going to try. There we go. Little bit of self-leveling here. I'm going to put some in this little hole. That's all there is to it. That's it. Now we're just going to let it sit 24 hours from now. It'll be completely done, and I'll put a really cool picture up. I'm going to kind of pick it up so you can see it a little bit up close. Maybe from the other side where the wine cork thing is not hanging out. Look how cute that is. See? That's so cute. And then we're just going to let it sit. That's all we're going to do. Let it sit and solidify. Perfect. That's all I have for you today. I mean, resin is actually really quick to work with when you have a chance to do it. Try it. It's so fun. You can make some of the coolest stuff. I've just taken a random stick from our yard or a piece of tree that had been sitting out there and been all yucky and gross. A little piece of driftwood that we had picked up over the course of time. A few little random other things. Created a light. A night light. Super cute to be sitting like on your mantle or in your kid's room. You know, so fun. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will take pictures and show you how this turns out tomorrow. Bye. Have a good night.